Well, right now, joining us live in studio, and let me get that mic up there, we have Rick Everhard, better known as Six Minds Combined. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to play some of your tunes and get to know you a bit. And I have to tell you, so, and I didn't mention this off air, but so last night, on Friday nights, I'm here too. I do a show called Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C.
Yep.
Paulie C is the host. I'm his co-host on that program. And he always asks me during the show, what do I have coming up the next morning on Matt Connarton Unleashed? And he loves the name Six Minds Combined.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it. He thinks that's like the coolest name ever. So before we play the first track, the single, let me get the obvious question out of the way. Where does the name come from, rather? Six Minds Combined.
So actually, it's not a long story, but there's when I first started making music way back when I was 18. I came up with a name, and I was like, oh, I like this name. It works, but it didn't work for everything that I was making.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, well, let's try this name, and then this name, and then this name, and eventually it became 6 different names. So I went by Schizo for a little while.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, so there was another artist. Underground artist at the time that was going by the same name, and so I was like, I can't really like bite off this guy. I got all my own names, so why don't I just stick to those depending on what I'm working on at the time.
Yeah.
And in one of my songs that I wrote something like "with these 6 minds combined," and I read it off, and I was like, wait a minute, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So that's basically where that came from.
Oh, very good. Very good. By the way, Who I Am is in the Facebook live chat and says, yes, 6MC. How did she write? Oh, MC and 2 exclamation points.
Yeah.
Yes. We were talking off air too. You were on Lacey's show recently.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, she was here and a while ago and brought her keyboard and played live for us in the studio.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. There's a song called Let Me Know When It's Time to Rock that was stuck in my head for months after hearing it.
Wow.
But let's do this. Let's play this track. Now, this is the single Daydreaming. I have a radio edit of it here. We'll listen to this, and then we'll come back and talk about it and get to know more about what you're doing. But if you are just joining us live, we have right here in studio, Six Minds Combined, and check this out. This is called Daydreaming.
Six minds combined. Daydreaming.
Sometimes I get to thinking about all the things I'm missing. I get so many inklings to do newts, the spirit's lifting. One mind dismissing, time persists to wind back, mind starts drifting. I find myself enveloped, helpless as to where I'm visiting. Dimension shifting, vented embers of our sentence left intact, unwrecking what we've left untouched. The future's not above us, but right in front of us. Enough of not embracing fate, it's plain to see the change we need to make. It's time to shake the tree. What could this mean? I'm daydreaming. I see the scene I'm meant to see, misleading me. What could this mean? I'm daydreaming. I see the scene I'm meant to see, misleading me. Different directions vexed, my mind is left invested in this fantasy. It's fans I see around me screaming at me, laughing, crying. Blinding light so bright the sight is like a dream. It's me, I'm standing, it's outstanding, handing me the trophy. Holding hands with whoopee, hugs and speeches, leeches creeping me out. Sneaking past the paparazzi, whoops, they got me. Shot outside, accosted at the Boston market. Stars are made this way, let's light the spark. Let's fight the darkness, hardness holding up the gate. It's time to fade away. What could this mean? I'm daydreaming. I see the scene I'm meant to see, misleading me. what could this mean? I'm daydreaming, I see the scene I'm meant to see. Misleading me, yeah. The stakes are raising, lifting faces, yearning to change places. Aces saved in case adjacent to the jack of spades I wasted. Place it face down, passive takedown, patience gaining me the high ground. Chasing faithless vagrants aimlessly down paths they want to try now. Don't want to die now, I want to fly out. The sky's the limit, getting psyched to find out what's next on my route. To try, I'll get it, I'll win the contest of constant progress. I'll top the charts with my songs about this. They're all left doubtless, no mouths don't shout with us when we bust out shouting. I'm out, I'm out. Hey. What could this mean? I'm daydreaming, I see the scene I'm meant to see. Misleading me, what could this mean? I'm daydreaming, I see the scene I'm meant to see. Misleading me, yeah, misleading me. What could this mean? Is it just a daydream? What could this mean? What could this mean?
I like that. That is Daydreaming, and that is Six Minds Combined. And we have Six Minds Combined here with us live in studio. Yeah, great track.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. I love that.
Is that you singing as well?
Yes.
Oh, so you do all the vocals?
Yeah, all
on?
the vocals is me. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Now, what about the instrumentation? Do you play as well, or?
So actually, all the music off of this album was all made by Chris Carwellos.
Okay.
Good friend of mine. He's doing a drum and bass thing as Skinny Jeans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From the area, or where's
he's
Chris
from the area.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good.
He actually lives in Concord, I think.
Oh, okay. And how did you connect with Chris to work on this project?
So actually, I worked with Chris for like 8 years, just making music, hanging out, having fun, making stuff for us.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Yeah.
And actually, I got mixed up with him because I got into some trouble and I had to do some community service. So I went. My friend Jillian Anderson introduced me to Tom Lopez, who was at the time the vice president of Positive Street Art.
Okay.
And I had to do some community service. So I did all my community service through Positive Street Art, which was great. It was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
So if anybody has community service they need to work out, definitely look us up and get involved.
Wow.
But it's Positive Street Art changed my life. I met a whole bunch of people through them. I obviously I got my act together, and it's just been great.
Yeah.
Great. It's a great organization, and but anyway, so through that, doing the different events that we do, I ended up meeting Chris at we had a dance program going on for a while. Yeah. So he would come to that every week or every other week, whatever it was, and I met him there, and we hit it off right away.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he was a producer. He made music in the past, and I was like, oh, we should work on something together. So he gave me everything that he had in his archive, and he's like, you know what? I really like you. I trust you. Here, take all this and see what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And so I wrote to a couple of the tracks that he gave me, and he's like, wow, this is cool. Let's keep working together.
Yeah.
So he started coming over like once a month, once every couple of weeks, and he would pump out like 5-minute beats, and then we would sit there for hours and we would just write to it, back and forth, and we must have made well over 100 songs together. And so I'd say somewhere about a year ago, we had made that song Daydreaming.
Okay.
He used this instrument called the machine.
Yeah.
And he like recorded a couple of vocal samples and just turned it into this sick beat. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I was like, it feels kind of like daydreamy. And he's like, yeah. And so it just went from there.
Okay.
You know, and I think it was like 2 or 3 days, and we had the song done.
No kidding.
Yep. And so shortly after that, he had, you know, he had things going on in his life. I had things going on in my life, and he's like, you know what? We sat down and we talked, and he's like, I'm gonna take a different direction with my music right now. You know, I'm gonna do this drum and bass thing, and he's like, but I wanted to let you know that anything that we've worked on up until this point is yours. Do whatever you want with it. Rewrite the lyrics, use the lyrics, whatever you want to do. And I was like, you know what? I should do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it out in the universe, you know, that I wanted to start, you know, chasing the dream.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So somehow the universe answered, and they introduced me to Eleanor Luna from Midnight Creatives Collective.
Yep.
And they became my manager.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned my ideas, and she's like, we can do this for you.
Right.
So it's been a ride since then. But I picked 7 of the songs that I had been working on. And I went to Toy Box Studios with Mr. Goodbars.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
and-
He was on the show a couple of months ago. I think.
Yep.
I think it was a couple of months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Phenomenal. He knows what he's doing.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he works with so many different genres too.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. So many different genres, and he's good with all of it. Like,
Yep.
He's just got a huge talent for music and putting it all together. He also does cinematography. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he
Jeez.
he made the Daydreaming official music video that's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we had a party. He came over. I had a few people over, and we created the ambiance, and he did all the recording, and then put it all together afterward. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I had the beats, I had the lyrics. I have a home studio. It's not that great, but I don't know all the technical things, you know, the tweaks and this, that. So I was like, I want to get this professionally recorded. And Eleanor introduced me to Mr. Goodbars.
Yeah.
I went over, and he's like, this stuff is great. He's like, let's do this. So we laid down all the lyrics onto the tracks, and then he worked his wizardry magic and made it sound 10 times better than I could have ever hoped.
Yeah.
And it became the album. Eleanor, then she you know, put the booklet together. I had my friend Keegan Fitzgerald, Art by KF, that did the artwork for the album.
We should mention, and I'll hold it up too for, I mean, they won't be able to see it super well, but for people watching online, you brought in a few copies of the CD, and I just want to say too, it's impressive. So, you know, it's a conversation that comes up a lot on the show with guests, you know, whether, you know, physical media, you know, are you gonna put something out on physical media or not? And a lot of our guests really are putting out CDs, but you kind of went all out with this too, because, you know, you've got the book and you know, you've got all the lyrics and everything, you know, full liner notes, all of that, which is really cool. And I love the artwork. So, but for people watching online, you can kind of see it's impressive. But yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So actually about the CD, I don't know, it was like $1,600 We went through Super Dupes.
Yep.
And got them all printed up. And,
They're right in Salem, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I am, if I meet anybody in person, and actually I figured since we're on the radio here, if anybody wants to reach out to me, I will give them a free CD.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want to. I'm not trying to make money off the CDs. I feel like music itself should be as free as it could possibly be. The things that I feel like artists should get paid for is shows,
right,
merchandise, and things like that. But the music, I just want to get it out there. I got a message. I want people to hear it.
Yep.
That's again why I put the lyrics in there too, because I want people to know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And understand the message that I'm trying to portray.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like an uplifting, like let's make some stuff happen together. You know, forget all this negativity and all the bad stuff that's happening in the world. Like let's ignore that and let's move forward in a progressive way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of one of my songs, one of my lyrics, I say, "We can be we without being forced," and that's I really feel strongly about that. You know, I feel like there's too many organizations and people that they're just doing it for themselves, you know, and they're trying to be the better of whatever they're into. They're trying to be the best. I'm looking at it differently. I don't think that I can be my best without somebody helping me become my best.
Right.
I wouldn't have been able to get as far as I've gotten with the music in these past few months if it wasn't for Eleanor at Midnight Creatives Collective.
Yeah.
She's really taken the bull by the horns. You know,
Oh yeah, what she's doing there is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it is great. And if there are any aspiring artists, musicians, painting artists, pencil artists, crafts, like whatever you do, check it out. Midnight Creatives Collective. They will help everybody. So the idea is to basically have like a business bar where people can come together and they can collaboratively work on whatever art projects they have going on. And at the same time, she also does like this management thing. And she's been picking up quite a few clients lately. So get on the list as soon as you can.
I was going to say, I think she's just signed a couple more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. No, she's doing great stuff there. And so I'm associated now too, tangentially, but I'm doing, I don't know if you know this about me, I'm also a certified hypnotherapist.
Oh, really?
And I'm now available Mondays and Tuesdays if someone wants to book a session with me in Nashua at the business bar.
Oh, cool.
They can do that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're involved with her too?
Yeah.
then?
Oh, yeah. I've known Eleanor for probably 20 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They highlighted my artwork in the month of August. They took 12 of my darkest paintings and put them up.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, the whole organization, like the idea that they have for it and everything that they're doing. They just opened up another room in the building that they're at where it's going to be like a community jam space.
Okay.
You know, so anybody, bring your guitar down, bring your keyboard down, bring your amp and your microphone, and let's all hang out in that room together and just jam out. Have some fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we should play another track. I'll let you pick. What should we play next?
So my favorite song off the album is "Running Through a Mansion."
Okay. You know what's cool about? I'm glad you said that because that's actually my favorite too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love this one. So we'll give this a spin. If you didn't pick this, I was going to close the segment with it when we get to the top of the hour, but I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
Cool.
And this is my personal favorite. And your tracks, I mean, they're unique. It's
Yep.
This song especially. It's like nothing I've ever heard before.
Oh, cool.
How do you? Everyone always hates this question, but how do you define your music for someone who's not heard it? Do you call it alternative hip hop? Because that's the first thing that came to mind when I was listening. It's like
Right.
alt hip hop.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's probably what I would classify it as.
Yeah.
I tell people hip hop because it's got rap in it. Rap is significantly, a big part of the hip hop scene. So that's what I start with, but it's not just hip hop.
Right.
Like you really got to check it out and listen to it because every song is different. Every song's got its own cadence and feel to it.
Yep.
And if you don't like one song, you might like the other six. So
Right.
it's worth checking out.
All right. Yeah, very good. Well, check this out. This is called Running Through a Mansion, and this is Six Minds Combined.
That you got this. I said, well, you know that you got this. Running through a mansion, answering a standing question, left alone through Rome through phobias. I know you left me questing destiny is festering, obsessing on my lessons learned. I think I've earned some respite. Guess it's time to burn the desperate yearning, furloughed, stowed to cope with later. Greater understanding, handling matters as a man and standing up for what we know is right and making our demands. And never giving in to ghosts, just hoping for a change. It never comes as long as you don't run. It's fundamentally essential. Central intel spells it out. It sounds a bit like self-help wellness. You've already won. It's all about the combined sum. Time is an illusion. You can do it cause you've done it someday. Some say prove it to yourself, and that's enough to use the runway. Planes be taking off aloft in skies, no lies to try to blind us. Flying freely, feeling fine and finding flight paths that define us. Climbing higher than we dare, too scared to fall back to the ground. Resounding off the atmosphere, it's clear.
We'll never come back down. Oh no. We're all artists, painting on this canvas. Our sparks lit, we're burning like the stars. We've got scars and we've earned them working hard, so hard. Well, you know that you got this. I said, well, you know that you got this.
I feel a little better about this. Read a lot of lyrics. Need a bit to sit and settle myself down before I hear it. Fear has nothing to do with this. I insist I'm the sincerest. Gear up, dust off, scrape the rust off. You can try, but none can pierce. Off this path that at last I have found. So many floors and locked doors I've torn down. How many more before I'm forced to lay down and take a break before I break and fade out? Listening to this, it's got me thinking about what's missing. It's insensitive, obsessing over every single mistake. Taking time and making rhymes to take my minds off all this sickness. Witnessing between the lines is something written. You got this. 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 You got this.
Well, you know that you got this. I said, well, you know that you got this.
Peeking through these windows, watching people fall when wind blows, holding on to hope that no one folds beneath the weight of carrying their burdens, hurting inside and out, crying, trying to be something someday, some way, somehow, someone that they can be proud of. Show the world what they climbed out of, holding on to who they were while turning into something more. Be putting keys in their own doors, ensuring deeds to just be sure, so they won't need to need no more. Indeed, we plead to lead the score, imploring we don't need to war. We can be we without being forced. 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 We without being forced.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I love it. Yeah, that is my favorite. That is Running Through a Mansion. That is Six Minds Combined, who is here with us live in studio on this Saturday morning. There's a line in there too. Watching people falling over when the wind blows.
Yep.
It just you couldn't have predicted when you wrote that song. But when I hear that, I immediately think of I just have visions of all these videos that I've seen in Florida with the hurricanes,
right.
like literally people being knocked over by the wind. But yeah, such a great track.
Thank you.
And I love your singing voice too.
Thank you.
You remind me of somebody, but I can't quite place who
Yeah.
when you're singing. Has anyone ever told you that you remind them of anyone specific?
I've heard every single person that says I sound like somebody says I sound like somebody different.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it, I assume it's not, but is it difficult to shift gears live between singing and rapping? It's probably pretty natural, I would imagine.
It is. Especially I've practiced these songs hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I listen to them every single day.
Yeah.
You know, my music is my favorite music.
Yeah.
So when I first write the songs, they don't sound the way they do at the end.
Yeah.
Like I have to find like I write first, and then I'll find the cadence, and I'll create the melodies and things like that. So a lot of those words, I wrote them as words first, and then I would listen to it and go, oh well, this would sound good with some sort of melody here.
Okay.
And then I would adapt the words to work for that melody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That song in particular has a lot of words in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's got the most words on the album.
Is that challenging for you, or
I have a horrible memory, so it's really, really hard to remember all my lyrics. And I've made, like I said before, I've made hundreds of songs in the past.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of them.
Yeah.
You know, actually, one thing I do remember though, I can't say it because there's bad words in it. But the very first 4 bars I ever wrote, it's stuck in my head forever. That'll never go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so especially that song, it is hard to remember the lyrics, but I almost use like a visual and like the fact that the things rhyme, that helps a lot. And like if I say the first line, it triggers the second line in my mind, and then the second line triggers the third, and then the fourth. So if I jump in the middle of a song and try to start it, I'm so lost. I have to start from the beginning.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense. That's something too. You know, there are people who don't like hip hop, and I always tell them, one thing that I just feel nobody ever brings this up either. Something that I feel that people who rap don't get enough credit for is the memory skills.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because, you know, your typical rock song, it's pretty easy to remember.
Yep.
You know, you listen to it a few times, you know, verse, chorus, you know, you get the lyrics. But your average hip hop song has a lot more lyrics packed into it than your average rock song.
Right.
So you've really got to have good memory skills or you know, or find something that works for you mentally, like the way that you described, where you can recall all of that.
Yep.
And also too, with a rock song, if you do mess up a lyric, it's pretty easy to recover from it.
Right.
But I would imagine a song like Running Through a Mansion, if you mess something up as you're performing it live, you know, I mean, in your mind, that there must be like a little bit of a hiccup there, like,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Does that ever happen?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like I want to put out there is like everybody makes mistakes, you know, and especially in live shows, there's a lot of pressure that you're under being in front of, even if you're in front of 10 people, if you're in front of 100 people.
Yeah.
There's pressure to do a good job, and that on top of all the other little things, it's, you know, anything can make you skip up, mess up. I was at I host an open mic for through Positive Street Art once a month. The next one's October 18th.
Okay.
At the last one I was at was also my record release party.
Oh, excellent.
And I was performing the song Champion.
Yeah.
And I forgot the first word.
Oh no.
So I had to restart the song.
Oh no.
2 times.
Really?
And I was perfectly fine. I was calm. Like I wasn't nervous at all. And then I forgot that first word. And then like my anxiety shot to the roof.
Yeah.
And I started all, like panicking right there. I'm like, oh God, what do I do? I can't remember. So I like centered myself.
Yeah.
And I just pressed play, and the lyrics all showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was wild. So we haven't mentioned it yet. The name of the album is Issue 0.
I was curious about that.
Yep.
The title.
Yeah. So I'm into like comic books.
Okay.
And series and things like that. So I like to integrate all my passions and my hobbies into everything I do.
Yeah.
So with the name of the album, I was like, I want it to be the first of something. So like like Issue or something like that. But it's kind of like the before album.
Okay.
You know, I'm just coming out. Everybody's getting to know me. So it's not the first one.
Yeah.
It comes before that. So it's 0. So it's
that's cool.
It's Issue 0. And then that's basically why.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Well, we should play another track. What do you want to? Where should we go next?
Let's go with Champion.
We'll go with Champion. And
Yeah.
that was That was not one of the ones I needed a radio edit for.
No, right.
No.
And that one's it's a little more melodic than the other stuff.
Okay.
And then my song "In Your Hands," I feel like that's the closest to like a rock song that I have.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So maybe we'll play that at some point too.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's give this a spin. If you are just joining us, we have Six Minds Combined here with us live in studio on this Saturday morning, and this track is called Champion.
Who can we rely on when nobody wants to be the champion? Who do we run to when we need someone to defend truth? What if we're running the wrong way? And how will we know it? What if we've doomed ourselves today? And how do we slow it? Show me the right path and keep me from all this darkness, or sharpen my knife hand and point me out on my target.
Who do we become when there's no one to take the fall? No one to make the sacrifice, no one to make that final call. Who do we become when someone threatens those we love above and below? We'd go to the deepest depths to hold that grudge.
I have judged my fair share of squaring off in lost pairs. Somewhere off in thoughts shared, I'm often caught off guard, doffed armor, done to be dominant and ominous. I'm an anomaly, abnormally a normal guy, but I'm not just me, might want to see what I hide inside. I gotta not just be, gotta be the best of my minds this time.
I normally intend to intensify the descent, to attend to the side of this that's decided to repent. Invent a sentiment for desensitized dissent, amending every simple step, a symbol sent. Who do we turn to when we burn through all our heroes? Fear goes staring rows to become foes, to reap their souls. No deeds opposed, all soldiers thrown in pits of bones. No fits in those that lived are sold as pigs to stuff and fill their bellies with these demon vixens.
Nice short song.
Yeah, that is a short one. Yeah.
Yep.
That is called Champion. That is Six Minds Combined here with us live in studio on this Saturday morning. By the way, you are getting a lot of chat room love. We should mention
cool.
some of these folks. I Jones, is that how you say it? A-Y-E Jones?
A. Jones.
A.
Yeah.
Jones says a lot of very positive things, including "I'm so proud of you, dude."
Yep.
Which is very nice.
It's a good friend of mine.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Eddie 7230 says, "Love ya, 6MC." Let's see who else. Who I Am, we mentioned, is in there earlier,
Yep.
being very supportive. We appreciate that. Andre Dumont, of course, in the Facebook live chat this morning. Andre says, this show has amazing local variety. Does New Hampshire even realize the local talents? Yeah, there's a lot of talent here.
Yep.
Sometimes somebody will ask me, how does, Jenny does all the booking, and somebody will ask me, how does Jenny find all these artists? And it's like, well, there's so much great talent out there.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So many, and not just here, but all over the world, really.
Right.
We live in a time where it's easier than ever to create music and then share it with the
Yep.
world, with the globe.
And a lot of times it's when an artist says, "Can I?" All they do is ask.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
All you got to do.
That's the huge thing is any opportunity. There are tons of opportunities out there, and you just gotta seize them.
Yes.
If you see something, say something. Like the radio shows. I would have never done this myself, but knowing the people that I do, it gives me the confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, get out there. If you're making music for yourself and you think it's good, show it to some people, see if they think it's good.
Right.
And if they think it's good, then show it to more people. Get on the radio, talk to, reach out, get a hold of Eleanor at the MCC, and she can make it happen for you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. By the way, can you tell us a little bit more about positive street art? Because it sounds like it sounds like you had to do that because of community service, but it worked out great. Obviously, it helped you turn things around. And
Yep.
you're still working with the organization?
Yeah, so I'm on the board.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so I had to do my community service, and I had 100 hours I had to do.
Yeah.
So I worked with Paul Shea at Great American Downtown on Sundays doing the farmers market.
Yeah.
And then I worked with Tom Lopez painting murals.
Yeah.
You know, who doesn't want to paint murals for community service?
Right.
So I had such a great time doing it that I continued to volunteer with them afterward, and I just really wanted to like it. It was very fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, I want to be a part of this. And then, you know, one thing led to another, and they finally asked me. They're like, well, you're such a huge part. You know, you're always helping us out. Why don't you join our board? And I was like, I'll do it. Yeah. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it. You know, I'll take the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen. But through Positive Street Art, Manny Ramirez is our lead painter. I don't know what title he goes by now, but he does most of the murals or organizes them.
Okay.
But he was living in an apartment way back shortly after I got involved with them, and I was looking for a place. And he's like, "Oh, there's an apartment in my building that's opening up. Why don't you check into that?" So I checked it out. I was like, "This is perfect." Ended up living there for 6 years. But after I got the place, the landlord showed up 3 weeks later, and he goes, "Hey man, I heard you're a carpenter. Do you want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a job." So I've actually been at that company for 8 years now, and it's the best company I've ever worked for in my life.
Excellent.
That's Turn Cycle Solutions
Okay.
out of Nashua. It's a general contracting and weatherization company.
Okay.
But anyway, so Positive Street Art, you know, years go by. I'm involved with all their different programming and everything. I try to be as involved as I possibly can. A little over a year ago, I came up with the idea. I was like, you know what? I want to start doing something with my music. Why don't I try to do that through Positive Street Art? So I talked to them, and I brought up the idea of starting an open mic, and they're like, yeah, that's a great idea. So let's do it. So almost once a month, I've been putting on the open mic. It's called Vicus Vox.
Okay.
Which is Latin for voice of the city or voice of the street.
Okay.
It hasn't really taken off yet. I've been doing it for over a year.
Yeah.
But hopefully now that, you know, I'm getting out there personally, and I'm trying to get as noticed as possible, other people will they'll want to come just to see me, and maybe I could get some of them on the mic.
Exactly.
You know, because that's what I'm all about. I want to bring everybody up. I want to get everybody together. I want to collaborate with people. You know, anybody. You know, if you know, yeah. So that's a huge thing that I want to mention is I'm all about collaboration. You know, I'll work with anybody.
Yeah.
And I want to work with people. I want to, you know, share my talent with other people and motivate other people to do the same thing that I'm doing right now. So
what I love about the whole, you know, your whole story, the trajectory of, we talk a lot on the show about taking negative things, taking negative experiences and creating something positive out of them.
Right.
Creating art. You know, people take trauma and then they make music with it, you know.
Yep.
But your story is an example of that, but even on a higher level, because you got into some trouble, and then so you had to do community service, but you did that with Positive Street Art, and then all the great things that came from getting involved in that.
Yeah.
So it's like you know, it's like, you know, taking something negative and creating art with it, but on steroids. It's, you know what I mean? It's like that's such a great story.
And once you start that trajectory, it just keeps going.
Yeah,
you know, if you have the positive mindset and you put that out in the universe, it's going to keep flooding you with positive things.
Yes.
You know, I've over the past 8 years, my life has completely turned around. You know, I own the nicest car I've ever owned. I have the best job I've ever had, and I'm doing something with my music finally. Yeah. And I'm meeting up with a mortgage guy to try and buy a house.
Oh, nice.
You know, none of this stuff was even a thought in my mind 8 years ago. And then I got involved with Positive Street Art, and everything changed from
Yeah.
there. You know, all that positivity that I was involved with just surrounded my life, and I kept taking every opportunity that came, and here I am today. you
Yeah.
know, on Matt Connarton radio, man.
No, we're glad you're here. And and so much of it too, I think, it is, surrounding yourself with positive people.
Yep.
Because sometimes I think Jenny and I have had conversations about this with someone we know off air about the importance of surrounding yourself with people who are going to lift you up
Yep.
and be good for you and be positive for you, and staying away from people who are only going to bring you trouble.
Right.
That's such a huge part of it. Now, by the way, so when you play live, do you ever perform with a band, or is it just you with backing tracks, or how does that work?
So right now it's me with backing tracks.
Yeah.
But I would like to get together with a band, and some other solo artists that play instruments. I want to do an acoustic version of the album as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Change up the lyrics a little bit,
Yeah.
the melodies and things like that, and create a whole nother project with the same project.
Yeah.
And again, work with other people so that we can bring this whole collective of people up. I'm working on some music videos and like promo videos and things like that.
Yeah.
To try and on social media to try and get people interested in listening. So ideas for that. There's so much you can do, and I only have so many ideas. So
Right.
anybody wants to throw some ideas at me and maybe work with me or whatever, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention, I don't know how much time we have left, but I do have a show coming up
Oh, yeah.
in November 24th. It's going to be at the Jewel,
We'll be there.
right across the
Spelfie
street.
Fest.
Yep, Spelfie Fest.
We're involved. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I don't know how the lineup's going to go or anything like that, but show up at the beginning, stay till the end, and you'll get to see me perform.
Yeah, no, looking forward to that. Yeah, Spelfie Fest is going to be great. If you go to midnightcreativescollective.com, Midnight Creatives Collective, want to make sure I say it right. Sometimes I
Yep.
mess it up. But if you go there, you can actually get tickets right through the website.
Yep.
And Jenny and I are going to be there. Jenny's going to have a table. She's been making some amazing things, and I'm going to do. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. I'll kind of read the room and see what people
Right.
want. But I'm going to do some kind of a hypnosis demonstration.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. So, so Spelfie Fest coming up. November 24th at Jewel. Yeah, it is right. I forget that it's right
That's
across the street.
Yep. And it's also a benefit for rare pain disorders.
Yes.
They wanted
yes.
to make sure that I mentioned that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very
That's
important.
the RSDSA organization that reflects sympathetic dystrophy. I do have CRPS.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll be saying a few words on behalf of the organization, but they're super excited about this happening because it's rare to have fundraisers for rare diseases.
Right.
We don't get a heck of a lot of attention, so
Right.
this is
Yeah.
super important.
Yep. Yeah, we're very excited about it. It's going to be amazing. And also, are you already working on the next album, or?
So right now I'm focusing more on trying to get the live shows going.
Yeah.
And
Because you strike me as someone who's probably always writing.
yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always. So I am. I actually when I was in the studio getting all the stuff together, Good Bars hooked me up with a beat that is going to be on the next album.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I have a couple other tracks that I've worked on in the past that I think are going to be good for the next album. So I would say yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
So hopefully within the next year I'll have that out. But again, I wanna work with people. I want so if somebody's got a beat and they have a space that's open on it and they want some talented lyrics on there, then hit me up. I'll jump on the beat. We'll turn it into a video and we'll get it out there as soon as possible.
By the way, Good Bars is in the chat room and says 6MC is the truth.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. Well, we are approaching the top of the hour. So did you want to finish out with In Your Hands?
Yeah, let's do that.
You mentioned that one.
Yep.
And you were saying this one is kind of the closest thing you have that's to a rock song?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So
until the next album, because
yeah.
because the beat that I got from Good Bars, that's like a solid rock song.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
Okay, cool. And so before we play this and finish out, what should people know about how to find you online? Anything specific you want to make sure people know about how to reach out to you, follow you, keep up with everything that you're doing?
So Six Minds Combined, obviously, Issue Zero. I'm on. YouTube has got this weird thing where you have to like claim your channel, and it's a process.
Yeah.
So the music video Daydreaming is on my channel, and then the album is on the music YouTube.
Okay.
But it's under Topic or something like that.
Until
I claim it.
They do a weird
Right.
thing. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. But
it's on
it's on YouTube Music. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on Bandcamp. What was I going to say?
It's on all the streaming platforms, I assume, right?
It's on everything.
Yeah. We should say too, it's the number 6, not 6 spelled out for
Right.
people.
Yep.
I mean, I assume if you search it with 6 spelled out, you still come up. But
maybe.
Just I hope so. But just to make sure people know.
Yep. Yeah, but you can find it on any of the streaming platforms.